Alright friends, this is Mitty Man coming back at you from Walker's Music. Late night edition. Late night edition. It's about 1:30 of the word for the day. People, I had to come back and say something. Let me give a shout out to the YouTube fam and the End Time Harvest Gang. But I want to cut through the chase tonight, giving God the glory. But there's some things that I feel that need to be addressed in our time that we are living in. About the doing what's right. And let me say this here first, people. Brother JT sent me a video. He sent me a video, the link to it, and this guy that was preaching about the tithe in Nehemiah 13, about how the priests and the singers and the doorkeepers were taken care of when it came to the worship and the service of the tabernacle. And when Brother JT sent me that, I sat down and I watched that, and that guy, I wished I knew his name. He preached a powerful sermon. He told the truth. And I know that he didn't get a lot of amens in that sermon by certain people. And he made some powerful comments. And he made some wonderful discoveries. In other words, he just told the truth like it is. People, why is it? And now I'm not saying this, and I'm not going to try to hold anything back. I was talking to another partner of mine, and I'm not going to call any name, but I got another buddy of mine here that's a musician as well. He told me some things that was kind of hard for me to believe, being the kind of musician I am. But me and my buddy, we was talking tonight, and I'm going to be honest with you. People, we must, like I said, I cannot take credit for the start of this here subject. I wished I knew the pastor that did this here, because I posted it on Facebook and everything, but I wished I knew the pastor. But people, why is it that we take pleasure, seem like, in some of us, in dogging out our own people? Right here in the church, people, look, you cannot get, people, some of us want too much sugar for a dime. Now, there is no way, it is not biblical that we dog our people the way we do. Now, I'm just gonna cut through the chase. Now, it's biblical. It's biblical. I read it myself. I don't need anybody to tell me. I read it. God plays high value on worship and praise. And the way things are supposed to be done, if you don't believe it, read Leviticus and Numbers. If you don't believe that God puts a high standard on worship and praise, He wants it done right. And it's a certain way that He wants it done. People, if you read that story about the children of Israel and their wilderness experience, you will note that every one of the tribes of the children had an inheritance in the land, in the new land. Everyone but the Levites. Did y'all notice that? Well, you don't want to know why? Because the people 10%, the people tithe, was going to take care of the Levites. Who are the Levites? The people that were taking care of what? The temple. The ones that were taking care of the tabernacle. This is what they was going, that was where their living came from. The people that God kept them. And the people did what they were supposed to do. People, it was not biblical for that we dog our people out the way we try to do. We want a whole, there are musicians, and I was told this here by a buddy of mine not too long ago. He told me that you got certain musicians, they don't teach, they don't do nothing, they don't, half of the work that I see in the other musicians that I know of, that awesome musicians, got great skill, they don't even come up halfway to that. That gets $400, $500, $600, and $700 a Sunday. Yes, $400, $500, $600, and $700 a Sunday just to come in and get in the box, play a few chords and out. Don't teach the choir nothing. If you don't know the song, you just don't know it. They're not teaching you anything. And they get that kind of money. And here it is, we got other musicians out here that knows what they are doing, that know how to teach voices, that do teach the voices, that plays well, that knows music, knows how to read music, went to school, some of them got degrees and everything, and they can't barely get 200. It's not biblical. It's not biblical, and if you don't want, like I said, this pastor, I wished I could take credit for starting this thing, but this pastor is the one that, and he came from Nehemiah 13, about Tobiah. Like, he would come there and putting his butt in the place of the storehouse, what they were supposed to bring the keeper the tithe to, and they had to get it right. So that wasn't working. You expect musicians, the tithe and the people that brought the offerings and things, that was for the people that took care of the temple, the priests, the musicians, and the doorkeepers. In our modern day, that would be the pastors, the musicians, and the ushers. Those are the ones that take care of the temple. People, that is biblical. I don't know where we get this penny in mentality, but God takes very, very pride in his worship service, and he wants it done right. Why won't we employ people that knows what they're doing and not they're doing it for a hobby? People, if you want quality, you're going to have to pay for it. I mean, if you go and you don't expect, we will go pay $150 and $60 for a pair of Nikes, Air Jordan, because we feel that is quality. Don't nobody want no Adidas no more, or Pro Kids. They were Pro Kids when I was growing up, or Converse All Star. That was a $19 shoe. In my opinion, it was just as good as these other high-priced, high-dollar shoes. But what I'm saying, people, I got a keyboard here, and I'm not going to call the name of it. Yeah, it's Casio. It's a modern day. It's not a modern day one. I done had it a few years. It served my purpose then and now for what I wanted for. But I don't play my Casio in church. I play my Trident in church. Guess what? There's about a $200 difference between this here Casio and my Trident out there in the studio. People, that equipment costs money, and you don't go get it free. Now we got people that got this here petty mentality in our churches, the leadership. That you see, there's some people don't even need to be in leadership. Because first of all, I feel that certain people shouldn't even be involved when it comes into the music ministry of the church. Only the ones that are directly involved in the music ministry of the church, I feel should have any say-so when it comes to it. Because people that don't sing, they don't care whether you have a musician or not, because they don't know how to sing no way. And then though, because some of them they're trying, I'm not trying to talk about nobody, but I'm going to tell you the truth, some of them don't need no mic in their hand. So therefore, they don't need a musician. They don't need a musician. But those that do, those that want high praise in their churches, come on, people. Come on. Where do these here people come from? And I'm not just saying this because I'm a musician. I would say this even if I wasn't a musician. Why is it that we cannot give honor to whom honor is due? We would rather put up with anything. But now when it comes to me and what I want you to put everything in it. I want you to empty your wallet when it comes to me. You know what I'm saying? Give everybody their due, people. Give everybody their due. And we talk, well, it's not biblical. It is biblical. When Jesus did not want us to work for naught. When he used Peter's boat to preach, what did he tell Peter? Go out into the deep. They caught so many fish, the boat was sinking. They had to call in the partner. Everybody had fish. Why? Peter never was pro. They had a job. Their main job was commercial fishermen. That's what their occupation. So don't you tell me Jesus worked you for nothing. If he had, he wouldn't have told Peter to go out there and catch that fish. Let him know where the fish was. You understand what I'm saying, people? Do you want me to give you another example? When Jesus fed the multitude, that one time with 5,000 men, not counting women and children. So if every man had a wife and one child, there was at least 15,000 people he fed with 2 small fish and 5 barley loaves. And then after everybody had ate their fill and was full, he took up what? 12 baskets full. Why did he take up 12 baskets full? He had 12 disciples. They had to eat too. People, it's there, but some of us just don't want to see. People, until we start treating people right, God is not going to bless us. No, God is not going to bless us. Some of us want too much sugar for a dime. And it is not right. Paul said, come on, use common sense. People, like he said, you do not muzzle the ox that tread out the corn. If you want quality, you must pay for it. Aaron's vesture that he wore in the keeping of the temple and the high priest, that ephod that he wore, it was worth a king's ransom, people. People, y'all need to read Leviticus and Deuteronomy and Numbers. You need to read the high value that went into the building of that temple in that tabernacle and what the cost was in our modern day money. Matter of fact, King Solomon, they say his worth was, in the day's money, would have been about $900 billion. I wouldn't mind having a status like that myself. I believe I would know what to do with it, people. But let me tell you one thing. Until we stop treating our people like dirt, nothing is going to work right for us. This is how come the church is really going to hell in a handbasket. Nobody wants to go to no dead church. I mean, hey, so, people, look, I'm not going to try to pull punches tonight. I'm just telling it like it is. Somebody got to tell the truth and stand up for what's right. And I just don't feel, now I know, hey, it's going to be a lot. I don't care. Say what you want. I just delete the comment. It don't matter. This is not biblical. You do not muzzle the ox that tread out the corn. And why would you, any of you leaders that sit out there and let somebody come that got a wife and kid and family and play and want you to use their equipment to come and set up in your church to play music to make your service great, and then you expect them to sit up there and do that for nothing? It ain't about no charging, but it's about doing what's right. Well, a love gift. Well, you better give a love gift. Some people won't give you nothing. Well, if you're going to give a love gift, give it like it's out of love. You got a person that worked 18 hours and then got to come and try to practice on out-of-key choir for 2 hours, leave his family at home, got to come up there and put up with that, and then y'all don't want to give him nothing. Something wrong with that picture. And guess what? I know what's wrong. Y'all are wrong. Yes, anyone that'll sit and allow that kind of activity to go on, leadership, and I'm not so much talking about pastors, because the pastors is in the same boat with the musicians and the doorkeeper, because all of those three were supposed to be taken care of according to the Bible, by the tithe coming from the people, because they were the Levites that took care of the temple. If at 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, something happened to your family, you need spiritual, who you call? You want to call the pastor. Now the pastor got to get up out of his bed at 4 o'clock in the morning, come see about you. If he don't come, you go around the street and talk about it because he don't come. Well, the man got a job that he got to go to. If we were paying him the way we should pay him and do what we supposed to do according to the Bible, see, that is their job. They wouldn't have to do nothing but just come and take care of however whim. Come on, people, come on. You want full-time pastor, you want full-time musician, full-time doorkeeper to make certain the worship service go right. But guess what? They got full-time job. Because if they, y'all know what I'm talking about. Those of you that know the truth, speak up. Start doing what's right in your local churches. Do what's right. Do the right thing. Do the right thing. This is Mitty Man saying, whatever you get into, if God's not in it, it's best that you come out of it. This is Mitty Man saying peace and good night.